Okay, so I'm going to jump right into this, even though part of me wants to wait for viewers. I'm eager to let things unfold, and there will probably be people that watch after, hopefully. So, and I had that one that kind of forgot in the freezer last night before bed or summertime. I took it out, put it in the sink. I think I have another one floating there. I'm pretty sure I just want to check and make sure I have some in the fridge. I'm going to need to stay hydrated wherever I'm at. And the cord kind of stretched out. So that's awesome. And he was being noisy. Not right away when I put him away, but a few minutes after. But he's quieted down, so hopefully he'll be good. He kind of went up there willingly, and we haven't been up that long, the dog, when I moved the thing up the stairs. But anyway, here we go. Okay. So hello, everybody. I'm going to start with, and hopefully this doesn't make me too sleepy. I'm going to start with, well, I don't know what I'm going to start with, because I want there to be people here. I mean, the Bulls, there's some people's things and not other people's things. Some might have bad associations. I don't know. The other thing is that some may think they see them and they're like, oh, those things, I always found them too high. But there's actually a lot of variety. But we just went to someone the other day and we played in that room. But there's too much sun, even though it was supposed to be cloudy. There's way too much sun. I think it just get warm too quickly, and even I'll be in that space. Don't you worry. I have plans. Some of this, when I couldn't sleep last night, as tired as I was, and then physically my body wouldn't let me. And then, truth be told, this is a shared channel, and Glenn don't want to look like whoever's kicking me in the head. Has epilepsy. It's been dormant for a while. Meds have seemed to help, possibly Alzheimer's. However, he well, she might come to my channel looking for the other one and then see this and maybe not notice the part 2, and then or say, yeah, but this is live, so I watch this one. And I'm going to add a comment here just in case she happens to click into it and then sees it. Just somebody I'm thinking about here for a moment. Wow, that's all 3 lines that look longer when I was typing it. Yeah, it's not. We started to watch some of it back, and then we thought, oh, you know what? It's too deep before bed. It's going to give me ideas. I was trying to find something else, but we kept watching it, and I packed a lot, and I packed a lot in a short amount of time. At least I did with that one, and we just. And then it was right after I mentioned of a friend. I think it was right before that. Anyway, I went to bed. I thought I was going to sleep well. And actually a lot of these ideas, and, part of me wishes it was more improvised, but you know what? It's like life. I mean, it's improvised in the fact that I guess I didn't know whether this was going to even be entirely improvised or not. I'm just going to lower this to show the shirt, which thankfully shows right direction, I think. And so that I'm not just a floating head. But aren't we all sometimes, eh? But yeah, life is improv. Life is winging it, and okay, yeah, that. But I don't want to be over here too long because this laptop does not hold its charge very well. It's already at 67%. If anybody that's seeing this sees the one the other day and said, oh, there was a part in it, they were asking me a question, but I would think you would answer in the moment. Anyway, either way, we figured it out, so that was good. I know. I honestly feel like I look. I know they say the camera adds 10 pounds, and people might be jealous, but don't worry. I've got my struggles or whatever, but I'm ready to shine. So, but they say that the camera adds the pounds, but that's just people that subconscious, but honestly, for me, I felt like it just made my arms just either that or it's a shirt, but I'm open to suggestions. You want to suggest that I maybe look up for stretches to try and do, keeping in mind that I'm not the most limber. I mean, in a stretch, you should feel something, right? Like, not they say not pain, but you should feel something, and it can feel very good. Speaking of feeling good, I get the radio off, and I must make sure I'm watching that battery thing and that doesn't get away on me. But I'm going to align at least half of our chakras before we truly start the show, because this actually hasn't been it. This has been an introduction. La 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 la. That's so interesting. That is so interesting. Sounds very loud in the room. Well, not very loud, but fairly loud. But it doesn't go beyond one audio dot at the bottom. However, my voice does. It goes to close to 3. I would say there's more inflection, but these things, I mean, they have character, some of them, you know. And I also wanted to state something before I play the second one. Welcome. That last night, one of the things that I struggled with, one because I noticed that, and this is a shared channel. I noticed that Glenn was flinching, and interestingly, when he's having what I guess would be small seizures, usually he'll notice and he'll get up and take something. He didn't, and my mind was still active, and my body was still not letting me sleep for a bit, even But then yeah. Anywho, and basically, but he did say, okay, I'll get up and take another pill, and then this morning took his usual one, and we were up till about 2 or 3 in both in their beds by about like the usual. I know it felt like it was later, but it was still pretty much close to the usual, and it just took us longer. And then I'm not sure. I mean, if we got up and had time falling back asleep, then I'd hope to get back to sleep this morning. I didn't get that damn sandwich made. But one thing I did notice, I kept telling myself, he's gonna possibly feel my energy if I'm feeling doom and gloom, and I'm thinking, oh, Bell's gonna be able to celebrate. I mean, I'm thinking doom and gloom, and I'm thinking, I think earlier that night I'd kind of, and not for the first time, but I'd kind of looked at my own mortality a little bit. I was looking a bit at his, I think, and it wasn't a full-on seizure, which is why I wasn't like super panicked. The vocalization that they often start with didn't happen. This was, I believe, most of this was before the other med. The and it's been a long time since there's been one. We're very thankful because we know that it's not always that way for people. Chapstick. It's probably been 7 or 8 months. There's a seizure epilepsy diary and that. But he isn't on a lot of sleep, and I can't remember. I said something to him this morning, because you haven't slept much. Oh, I think I was going to suggest. But then we said, well, you did have that extra pill. But it's interesting that I do feel like I noticed that once I stopped thinking about, what's this life going to do? As you can, food, friendship, and celebration, but a whole lot of sadness, and blah 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 blah. Like I said, most of the ideas for this episode came this morning. I think I know a couple of the props I brought downstairs last night, and as I was doing it, I started to feel mixed because I thought, okay, this is going to keep me up, thinking about how I want to use them. But sorry for the monotone there, but at least nobody was here, and when I started, it wasn't, because I know that could be hard to listen to. I think the only thoughts that ran through my head is after I use this, do I keep it? In fact, I don't think I used it at all for the intended project. Do I keep this prop? Maybe I don't want to be interrupted by the thoughts that because that can be very hard, especially when I have ADHD. But basically, yeah, it's kind of like, I would hate for her to find it and know exactly who she made it for, because how many of these does she make? I don't know, maybe a lot, maybe not. And think, part of me thinks she'd be offended, part of me thinks she wouldn't. But to think, I made this for, I mean, this was a long time ago. Maybe he used it, but why am I suddenly finding it? I don't know. And I didn't even look that closely at it tonight. Honestly, I didn't look super closely at it when we got it. I looked at it. It looked interesting. And I thought, as I'm working on my show, I'll use it. But for whatever reason, I don't think I did. So you'll see what I'm talking about later. Not that everybody's here right now. Bowl number 2. Sorry that we're so divided up. Like even that one. I'm just using this. I'm not the greatest at droning, but some of these, he's been talking about woodmins a lot lately. I cannot believe that they can. I'm glad the dog's being quiet. I don't know if it's worth playing the third one, because to be honest, I had never noticed when I've done these in here before that it's not seeming to, by the volume detector or whatever, it's not seeming to notice that I'm even doing it. So if it doesn't notice, why do it? But as far as this goes, if there's nobody viewing at any point in time, do it. I need to. And I hope I won't be the only one that's thankful for it. As far as people that don't stay, they've seen what they needed to see, what they've meant to see. Maybe they'll come back. Linda said it. I think DeMarcus said it. So, it's fine. I almost wouldn't mind getting bulk of this done before I get comments, but nobody's here and I can't control that. I'll just tell myself, look at them afterwards. Eager as I may be, I have some ideas and I want to work with them. Now, just, being an open, honest human. And so I addressed that before I started. I've had a little bit of water and some coffee, and I'm kind of thinking I need to address it again. But I don't want to be away from the camera until I've roped you in, until somebody's here and they're here for a while. Here for a good time, not a long time. Sun can shine every day. And the sun is shining more than I thought it would in the windy city. And the sun is shining. Oh, isn't it a pity? Every now and then you'll get the blues. Every now and then we'll slip away. What a good segue. So maybe I should, so that I can enjoy what I'm doing more. Nobody's here. I don't know. Please be forgiving if you see this after the fact. Woo, shit. This is the thing. I'm doing this in our home because I've been in a rut and I don't have a theater accessible to me right now and I don't have a crew accessible to me. So, this is what we got. Oh, shit. So, okay, I don't want that showing yet. A little bit of dried flour here. It makes it look like the outside. It isn't super bright in here. After every one, I'm just gonna have to do some cleaning, and hopefully I'll have some time to relax and then do it. But of course, with the dog, if you leave things, he could get into them. The other thing I feel like is happening right now is my friend is giving me a bit of a breather before we go on to the next bit, because it's going to be deep. And I wish that there was some people here to get that heads up instead of possibly tuning in just in. Oh, the peppery thing, right? And that, okay, that's not the okay. So yeah, I just want to be able to fully focus. So again, one thing I do want to say though is that this is just also a first draft, and I'm just going to say. Looking for the phone quickly. It's not a huge deal, but like it was sitting right here beside me a moment ago. I know what the other one is, the one that, yeah, there's such a thing as a phone that can't make calls. Well, if I can't, then it's not meant to be unless it does happen. I don't think it sounds like they're in the text, I'm not sure otherwise, so I don't think I'm ready for other options. But it's so weird. In fact, I think I did both of them this morning, and then suddenly I do. When I find the phone and fumble it or catch it, and I need to, even though it's hard to do stairs with slippers, stairs with slippers. I stepped on something sharp last night and it almost became embedded. And then, I don't know, we did clean the floors fairly recently, but I keep feeling, maybe because it's also a bit tender, so I need to wear the slippers to and actually I did see something that was over here. See, I don't want to associate it, although I was thinking about some of the ideas with the bedroom plus the dogs in there. And I don't want him to get into things down here, which he may or may not. He's up there giving me the space to do it, and I have more space down here, which I'm hoping is a good thing. So some of this, as you know, with theater and improvised sometimes, and that's just the window light, which is almost perfect, even though, again, it was supposed to be cloudy, and it is kind of cloudy. But the way it's showing on the screen, if I wanted to, yeah, okay. And I like how, oh, there it is right there. I was looking at it almost as I was wondering where it was. Second time that's happened, right? I don't know if that's saying yay or nay, but oh no. And it's not life shattering, but it's not appreciated. Just because we found it, it's only $5, but we can use it for the show and then eventually spend it. So what the heck? Oh well. Oh well. Do I know where my wallet is? I'm not sure. I know I had it with me the other day. So this is, yes, it is very rough. And yes, I could wait till it's polished. But life is short. We don't have time to wait because you never know, right? And the thing is that, maybe I'll make it back. That's the thing. I mean, it's not so much about the amount as much as it is I want to use it as a prop too. I should have left it on that ledge and not moved it. I don't remember why I did. But I have an idea. So I'm going to roll with it. But I'll be right back. Nobody's been here the whole time. Okay, I'll be right back. But I've been there about 18 minutes. I know it hasn't been that long, but I just wanted to quickly call since I relocate the phone and say if you can just sometime soon, because I'm kind of in progress, but if you can text Marilyn that you're at work, but I'm doing a video, if she's able to tune it, would be lovely, and we'll talk to her more later. Yeah. Okay, I know she's kind of disabled in that whole life, so she might be able to. I appreciate it. Okay, thanks a lot, Doctor. Oh, okay, good. I'd have to move it. It has to charge with it. Okay, so I think last night the one I did, it was more improvised, I would say. You know, I was drawing from things about my life, but and the dog's still being good, even though he knows I haven't any rest. That's good. I was drawing from things about my life, but makes me look long. I it was very improvised, but yet really unfolded nicely. I am kind of just getting started, even though I was trying to mention somebody was just here for a moment. But maybe they couldn't handle seeing this right now. But you know what? I do have a thing I want to say kind of on that. And it's a message for us, too, I think. I want to say it, so I'll walk off screen. Hopefully I'll have some time to back before order. I don't know where it is. Super annoying. I will make the reminder though. And again, it's about, having reflection, introspection. I don't remember the difference at the moment. And trying to make it so that it wins for all. I was talking about that last night, to make it like wins for all. But life is always improvised. Whether we realize it or think about it much or not, and I'm just like anybody else, sometimes I don't. But the thing of the matter is that I want to say every moment, but maybe not always that literal, but every moment of every day, first of all, is a gift. Second of all, I would say most often is not wasted. What you're doing is what you're meant to be doing. What I'm doing, the fact that either someone came back or just tuned in, what I'm doing is what I'm meant to be doing. I'll repeat, what you're doing is what you're meant to be doing. So you're welcome. You're here. Now, one thing I will say, as if you didn't know, one thing I will say is that I'm going to be, so I'm noticing, and you left. So again, it's okay. I'm noticing that, and I don't know if it's the 4.5 hours of sleep. I don't know if it's the fact that bit of quiche I just had was more peppery than it was the other day, and I didn't do anything but add ketchup to it. And I do know someone who went by pepper, but and I've been thinking about it recently. But there's your answer, because I think I said, can you guess who I'm talking about? And it's interesting because there's been a blonde woman in spirit who, not like super actively following me, but she's come into the videos a couple of times, like she wants to connect with somebody. And I couldn't figure out who it is, but I think it might be someone that I know. And, it's interesting because I was talking about this lady, And yeah, she did sort of have that hairstyle. I mean, it could have been someone I don't know. And she could have been not necessarily only wanting to visit me. And that came across. I didn't come across at the time that she was familiar with me, but it came across that she called me sweetie at the end. And so whether it's who I think it is or not, it's kind of like they don't hate me. They just really she just really wants to connect with her loved ones. But it's interesting because two of the details, and I thought of her recently, but not at the moment when it kind of precipitated. It said that she was from California and that she was not like famous, but she was fairly, she'd done some things. And that's how I knew her, and she actually met, not to show, I don't know if I can show titles or whatever, but she actually met him. So I think that she's at least here. And right. But anywho, I feel like I kind of want to wait for someone to tune in and look at that. So what I was trying to say, what I will say is that today I feel like some of this needs a bit of explanation, or it needs me to not be so kind of flowing, but to kind of slow down. It's all storytelling, even if it's true stories, but it's reminding me that there's different types of storytelling, and that life's bringing it, including these moments. So someone tuned in. I just want to say that the next scene that I'm going to do, which, as the title says, is partly improvised. Sorry if the lighting changes. I kind of want this lighting for this room where it's kind of like bright, but you can still kind of see as the viewer goes. And yes, it's more sunny than I thought it was going to be. I do. I'm going to let some fresh air in from the back door so it won't be too noisy and I won't be too noisy. It's school should be in nearby, but it's 5 to 9. And then I'm going to do a scene. And what I want to say to the person that keeps coming back or just came in, aside from welcome, is that perhaps you are meant to see this today. Now, my caring heart wants to give you a bit of a heads up. It could be a deep scene, but it involves someone who used to say a phrase to me and the person left or whatever, but maybe they'll be back and they've heard that much. Let me do the door thing. And again, this might go through many different rounds of polishing. It may not, but it is what it is. Life, that's what some people say. La-di-da-di-da. That water's not cornered, so I can be hydrated. We have 2 viewers, and welcome. Don't know if one of them's Maryland or not, but it says one. But so he was able to hopefully send a quick text. It wouldn't have replied to everything, but so and the other thing is they keep like feeling my pockets for like money or it looks like that, but I keep trying to find something particular, and I have a wad of Kleenexes. You might need them, but as my friend Ray said, and I'd forgotten that it was a phrase that she used from time to time, but my goodness, it's 2 of her phrases, and this will make it very obvious. And again, I would like to also draw attention, to the short description underneath this video. Hopefully it shows up. Basically, this is not meant to mock. It is about creativity. It is about healing. And she says, live the life you want, and also feel the feels. As we get a second viewer, welcome. Feel the feels. I don't know entirely what's going to transpose in this scene. I have a rough idea, and I just encourage you to sit with your feelings. And both people laugh. And I know that can be uncomfortable. It can be. But either one came back, somebody else is here. So again, deep scene, not fully sure what to expect. Possibly have Kleenex handy if you're able to, or just feel the feels. Just say you just watched whatever word you want to put in, piece of theater that is my own crew, such and such. Like, I mean, there's one other thing I kind of want to say before, but at the moment people have left. So, but again, that may not be personal. One thing I did tell myself while I was trying to sleep, I think, and I've been kind of sort of telling myself all day, is sometimes people will see as much as they can, or they need to. They may come back. They may come back and watch it again. You don't know. We don't know unless they say we don't know. So we just got to roll with it. So, and none of us ever know sometimes, right? But so I'm just going to check that the chat's on, but I did think that it could be hard if I'm getting comments, much as I want them, to focus on the scene work I'm doing. So another reason why this might be good is suddenly 2 people come in at once, making 3, welcome, is that, and I don't know why that little YouTube blurb is under the 2 of mine. So yeah, it's what you're hearing. And you know what? And if you feel like you can't handle deep right now, maybe that's a suggestion. Although I have ADHD, I don't know how it would work for me. And suddenly 5, welcome, is read the 2 little comments at the side. There's a little description, hopefully, that shows underneath the video. 3. And you can process the scene as much as you process it while doing that. But if you want to jump in deep, it says 5 again. Maybe it said 5 again the whole time. I thought 4. Anyway, if you want to just take the deepness in, then take the deepness in. And I will do the same. I don't know if I should say more about this before doing it or after. And again, this is just version 1. So and I'm my own crew and everything right now. So when I do the scene after this, as we went 4 to 1, when I do the scene after this, it may not seem super seamless. I hope you'll be forgiving. Just going to quickly get a sip of water before I start. I'm happy to know that there's one person. I don't want to get the dog worked up. What was that sound? I don't know. Hi, Ray. You're left, right as 2 came in. Okay, perfect. Hi, Ray. Wow. I'm not used to seeing you this way. Can you hear me, Ray? So one thing I should say, so that this doesn't seem so crazy. I mean, if you read the title, you know it's theater, you know it's improv. It's rough draft, but I'm getting it out there at least. And again, feel the feels. Have the Kleenex if you need it. I'm here to support you through your feelings, so don't be shy with them. But imagine somebody laying, and again, it's not mockery, it's healing, it's creative, and I maybe need this more than I realized. But imagine somebody laying in a hospital bed, a young woman laying in a hospital bed in front of me. I don't necessarily have to paint the picture, but I thought somebody may be like, he's talking to nothing in front of him, and the person went, so whatever. And, for some people, that'll be very fresh, and people have different definitions of what fresh is. I don't know if that means watch it or not, but that's up to the person, I suppose, right? So, and I'm kind of feeling, they put stools in hospitals now. Oh, how nice. They don't really give a good pillow for it, but I guess I'll use this. Again, envision somebody in front of me. Well, I made it. I hope you'll come out of this, okay? You're so young. You've been such a good friend to me, to many, many people, and you have had so much talent, singing, some dance moves perhaps. Mostly, though, you were a good person. I'm wearing a shirt I think you'd like. Kindness, giving somebody your strength instead of reminding them of their weakness. hers. I know that you'll probably remain with me regardless what happens, but I don't want to lose you. That may be all I can stay for right now. But feel the feels. Hopefully you can stay for longer. There's somebody there. This is improvised. Oh, hi. Yeah, I wasn't here long, but I think I've done what I can today. Need a hug? That's what that scene was meant to look like. Thoughts? Questions? Next version of this I do, which may not be anytime soon, and somebody at least stayed for that, feel free to put them. I'm going to work on the next scene now. Although I do like the setup in that room. It's not much room, but the seat is better. You just tuned in. Welcome. I'm just in between scenes. I'm doing this to utilize my creativity to heal self and others. And I'm not that much into my day yet, and the viewer left, but whatever. But I had ideas. I wanted to roll with them. The dog went upstairs, so he's not in the way. We have 2 people just tuned in. Welcome. And I'm just trying to decide. I think I should go with my original plan. It's, like I say, a lot sunnier than I thought it would be outside, and so it's kind of warm in here. But actually, that reminds me, the other thing I have to do, so just imagine that there's a curtain. I was thinking of using, and I was also thinking of making it look like she was following me on my way home, but I'm not sure. I think that honestly would probably require more than one person to help pull that off, or at least imagination. So do I want to, nobody's here, somebody was here. You kind of keep coming in. I don't know, maybe it's a connection issue. Do feel free to comment. Let me know how this is resonating and all that. So what I'm going to do, and I think it'll just help it feel a bit more like theater, because this is what I got for now. And, a lot of venues are so expensive when you're low income, or if you don't drive, there's reasons. And this, I can make different scenes and environments and utilize my creativity and do what I've always been meant to do, I think, from home as well. If that's what I got right now, and it is, then that's what I got right now. I also have to remember whenever I move the laptop to do it carefully and to, again, packing a lot in not that much time, time's flying, to do it carefully and do it. But the next scene is 2 people coming at the same time. Welcome. May have been here before, may not, but anyway, you can see the title, you can see the descriptions, comments. The next scene, so what I'm going to do, is I'm going to put this over the screen, okay? Or I could just tell you to close your eyes, but for anybody who comes afterwards, maybe I want them to take in the environment, be here without me in it, taking in the environment while I get ready for the next scene. And I'm hesitant about the chair that I'm thinking of using. One, because I don't think it'll be super comfy, but I believe it'll be in view enough that it would look a little goofy to have it as a cushion for this scene. And then also, it's not super stable. I have it currently along the side of the kitchen counter. And basically, I was kind of being rhythmic, almost like stomp, when I was kind of just before I started this, where it's kind of like I was kind of on the kitchen floor and then with the back on the side of the counter. And I kind of liked that. And this is the thing I and we might just have to accept with the way that I'm doing this version, is that it is at home. And so, there will be things in the background that maybe wouldn't otherwise be. But if I do ever put this on stage, it can be like, okay, of what I'm seeing in here that I can easily transport, what would I like to be there? As we get, when we becomes sleep, welcome. My friend who passed away, you know, like any of us, knew that life can be complicated, but also knew about 3 to 1 keeping it simple. And that in itself can be complicated. You know, people want simple, people want easy, myself included a lot of the times, but life's not like that, right? Life's not like that. And so what you're going to see now is a scene. Again, feel the feels, whatever they are. I'd love to hear from you on this. I do have to do a quick costume change, and again, the bladder might want to be addressed first, and then I will do the scene. I don't know how much lead up I should give it, and I've only come up with some of it ahead of time. You know, if it was meant to be seamless, it would be seamless. If it was meant to have a little bit of in-between stuff, as it is, then that's what it, you know, and we just all have to accept that, right? So, and I'm worried, though, that the chair won't do that same thing on this flooring. Forget 2 becomes 1. And I'm also worried if I do it there, I don't know where I'd put the laptop. Although I have an idea. So this is, like I say, this is what happens when it's improvised. And if some people might be thinking, the 2 people that are here might be thinking, well, it's not very good improvisation. It doesn't really even seem like improvising. Wait till I get to the next scene and in a moment here, and you'll see. And last night was a perfect example of that. It was late. I'd had a big stress kind of happen, but we kind of got past it. And then this unfolded. And when I look back, I'm slightly surprised, actually. But then again, I know my skills, and I was reminded also of some that I've forgotten that I had. And 2 becomes 5. So, but today, you know, it's early in the morning. I'm on 4.5 hours of sleep, which actually I want to remember how that inspires another scene. And where do I want to put it in? Okay. So I hope that the person that's here now can be patient while I do a very light costume change. Maybe, I hate to keep saying it, but I feel like it's a reason, and sometimes it's helpful to know reasons. My bladder wants me to quickly address, and the viewer left. And I understand how that may come across, but like, seriously, I did say it was a simple costume change, and 2, you know, and so yeah. Right, I was not going to put this up because I'll let you take in the room, and you can share your thoughts about what you've heard, about what you've seen in the view that you're seeing it. And I don't know. I don't know if the 2 people here right now have seen my videos before, especially last night's. And I'm tempted to ask, would it be helpful to know a little bit more about the scene prior to it? Or just do the scene? I appreciate so much that you're here, and I appreciate your patience as I transition from one scene to the next, and I'll be right back. just quickly, whether it's a good idea or not, we have one person here. I just quickly want to send a quick message to somebody who I'm thinking about, because I have done one other play. Interesting, I'm going to go to my page to do this. I've done one other play in my life. Well, I was in some theater when I was young, but that's kind of similar to this, and even this next scene or whatever. If it behaves quickly, and then the tab that I'm otherwise doing this on, it has this English Canada thing in the way, and I think I can move it, but I don't want to take too long. And I know it's seconds away from loading, but I'm going to try and go back to the YouTube tab now because it's not being quick enough. And I can send this to her afterwards. Okay, so I think the only lead up I will give to this next scene, aside from what I've already said, and if you were here for it, you were here for it. If you weren't, and then they leave. Oh, look, he's trying to attach it too. Attach it and we must see this. I have been needing to do this, I think, for a long time. I'm just going to wait till we get a viewer. I didn't have to wait long. I do apologize if you hear a distracting noise in the background. Think of it as outdoor sounds. Our dog is just upstairs, out of the way. He's mostly being calm. This may get a little noisy, but it has been at times as we get one becomes forward welcome. And basically, he's completely fine. He's just wondering what's going on. And because this is partially improvised, so am I. But and the only thing that I guess I will say to lead up to the scene is all four go. Not super motivating, but oh well. Marilyn, Natasha, ask me maybe see this afterwards. Michelle, you, some favorite following people, and then who knows who else. So it's all good. I did, didn't I understand her? I've been feeling a lot of too, so I really need to be sitting soon. So I'm going to just jump right to it, I think. And that's interesting. It's happened more than once in a short period of time with this video. Very interesting. I've not seen that super often, but like when people come all at the same time. I have seen that, but like multiple times. So welcome. Only thing I'll say about this scene before I start it is that I had intended... I've come into a bit of money with some sales of some things. I personally, little bit about me quickly, I personally am unemployed, which is why I'm at home and able to do this. But of course, maybe I work part-time, or I could have worked evenings. And actually, I'm somewhat self-employed, but it can be a slow process sometimes as everything came on. But anyway, basically, so why was I saying that? I don't know. Remember, again, I'm my own crew with this version, but I wanted to put this out there. And I so want to explain some of these, like the scenes and that, but maybe I don't have to, or I can do so afterwards. But one thing I do want to say is that when we have some incense, like, light up incense or whatever, and we have some, in fact, that one gets me the other day, that is just kind of the movement. There we go. And it's like it's working. It's like the money, just when I think it's running out, it seems to kind of still be there, which is not, I don't want to make it sound like, so we're fine, we're good, and it's always going to stay that way. I mean, and that's almost a lead up into this. But so I had a $5 bill. Okay, I'm going to wait. So, perfect. I had a $5 bill I was going to use for this next scene. And I have a wallet, which has a little bit of money in it. And I had it the other day. I don't go out a lot, and I don't, with two people in this house, I don't spend a lot of money because I don't make it a lot at this current time. And so there have been times where I've totally misplaced it, and it's not been like as bad as it might be for some people. But I did have it with me yesterday, and I've tried to find it to use a different bill instead. I've not been able to. So imagine with this, and it might look really cool with that lighting. Again, it was supposed to be cloudy out. And you know what? The person left. I don't know if they thought I was asking for money. I wasn't. Optional. Who would complain to receive it? I don't know how the YouTube monetization thing works, honestly. It's a shared channel, and Glenn probably did back in the day, but I don't. So, you know what? I'm just going to let people use their imagination. I'm not going to tell them to do anything. And if it's somebody comes in that was here for a few moments earlier, whatever, and or just now, imagine that money. Okay, just imagine. Which is ironically, right. Okay. Yeah. Oh no. Okay, whatever. Should I wait till? Maybe I will. Yeah, that's right. I kind of want to do a thing where I come across that bag. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, sir. Yeah, it's not much, but I hope things improve for you. I I know it can be hard, and I don't need to know the details. In some ways, it's not my. Basically, it can happen to any of us. I do know that, but I don't want to become anxious. But I just hope it's what I have on me. Or would you like? I can buy you a drink. Sure. Welcome, one and all. It's kind of cold out here. I hope that individual gets back with the coffee soon. How nice of them. Got one person here. Just give me like 2 minutes. I'll be back on scene. I know it might not seem like what there'd be outside, but my body needs it. Welcome to the one person. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, it feels so nice to hold this warm cup. It's not paper. Yeah, they ran out of paper cups, so just make sure you bring it back in. Okay? Well, thank you very much. I'll pay it forward. Where's I thought maybe that would work. I need a bit. If I were a girl, even just for a day, but I am a guy, that's also okay. Feed the birds, top in the bag. Somebody bought me this from the dollar store recently. 3 hand creams. Very neon color. Can you see? This in theaters, hopefully it won't ever be reality. Vanilla, that's too vanilla. 3 strawberry. Coconut. It's hand cream that looks like paint. Don't hugely feel like I need it. I always put these seals on everything. Never whales, always seals. I really hope I do that one scene, but anyway, I'm going to do this one because I'm doing it. Well, that guy was really nice, you know. Theater, remember, improvise. That guy was really, really nice. And he said that he just was visiting his friend in the hospital, and now he's going to see her partner. And I think he said something about breakfast. Man, I hope somebody buys me some food soon. Life is hard. Jesus loves you. It's not going to be hugely religious, don't worry. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Oh my soul. Worship the holy name of whatever creator you wish. Just not devil. Sing like never before. Oh my soul. And there's a candle in the center, but I don't even know how to light things. Worship his holy name. Have to face the opposite way because the camera does that thing. The sun comes up, it's a new day dawning. It's time to sing your songs again. Whatever may pass and whatever lies before me. Let me be singing when the evening comes. Thank you very much. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Whoa, my soul. Worship his holy name. Sing like never before. Oh, my soul. I'll worship his holy name. What a hot summer day it is. I'm sorry, folks. I'm going to do this lyric. It makes me think of the person that just bought me the coffee. It makes me think about what they're going through. It makes me think about things that I've went through and things that somebody who is almost the closest you could ever be to someone, yourself, and the loved one you live with are going through. And hopefully, you know, whatever outcome, we'll try and see it positively. We will heal. But and don't mind the dog in the background. He's fine. He's just being kept out of the way right now. And I'm the only one home. Back to the scene. Sorry about that. And on that day when my strength is failing, the end draws near and the time has come. Still my soul will sing your praise unending. There might be a cast in some of these, but right now it's just me and angels. I'm one-man show at the moment for today. 10,000 years and forevermore. Bless the Lord of my soul. Oh, my soul. Worship his holy name. Sing like never before. Oh, my soul. I'll worship his holy name. I'll worship his holy name. I didn't look at this very much when the person made it for me for a different project. Similar idea just transpired, but I'm going to read this if somebody tunes in. Welcome. And again, if you're not religious, take it however you want to. It just happens to be in a religious manner. And if Helen ever sees this and would finally like an answer as to why she might find this out somewhere or somebody else, because I don't know if I need to keep it after this. I don't know. I've utilized it for what I needed to, and I'm passing it along. And I didn't want to get super faith-based. It's a bit of a trigger, but I have to remember what Ian said. I have to remember what my heart says and the reasons why, things kind of, make most sense as they are. I don't know if this is still the scene or not. You can let me know if you think it should be, but it could be. Welcome, both of you. Again, you can hear it religiously or not. I just want to spread the love and remind us to keep faith however works for us. Come, Holy Spirit, I need you. Come, Holy Spirit, I pray. I don't know the song, if it is one. Come to your strength. Come with your strength and your... Weird, I didn't see the end your when I looked at this a moment ago, so I don't know what... Come with your strength. Come in your own special way. Come like a spring in the desert. There's a wooden post through it. And this is great. I can hold it like this without damaging it. Come to the weary of soul. Ironically. Let your sweet healing powers touch me and make me whole. Again, I hadn't seen this before, and I'm trying to decide what parts of it I want to read. But at least this kind of stands out, right? Again, I haven't seen this before. Take it however you want to for what it says. I'm not sure if I should read all of it. Some of it seems to be in... I don't know what. I'm curious, actually. So just a moment. I'll wait till somebody else tunes in. Handy as that handle is, it's okay. And look at that. I haven't had to wait long. So I'm going to read something I've never seen before, and I'm curious if you know what the part that starts with Ava, what it means. Okay. And don't have to take this religiously. I don't know who's watching. I don't know their faith or what they believe. So take it however you wish. As I kneel before you, as I bow my head in prayer, take this day, make it yours, and fill me with your love. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum benedictus. All I have I give you, every dream and wish are yours. That again. As I kneel before you, as I see your smiling face, every thought, every word is lost in your embrace. Ever Maria Gracia, I'd like to know what I'm saying. Before I say it. Part of me thinks she wouldn't want credit. Part of me thinks, and I don't know if she's alive or not. I feel like I saw a vehicle the other day where I'm used to seeing it, but don't see it as much anymore. It's a woman who has been through a lot, is middle-aged. I sense she's maybe been homeless before. She has experienced or explored all faiths, which, did bring her to an interesting perspective about life, which was fairly diverse. I've met her a few times. You know, it was really special to me in the video I did the other day how I this chair is actually sturdier than I thought. How I um, mentioned a couple people that I've met in my life. Ironically, they were co-workers of each other, and I haven't seen either of them in a while. And then I tried to call the police that night, which is very rare. And I'd almost foreseen it, but didn't know why. But you never know who's going to see a YouTube video. And even if there's not anybody watching currently, who might see it afterwards? And I don't know if I'm going to do a second part of this today. It's certainly early enough, but we'll see. I kind of want to still do the other two scenes that I have in my head. Yeah, if it's a little over an hour, but under 2, that's fine. You know, there was a bit of an intro, you know, and a couple gaps. So it is what it is. But anyway, Helen Shearer is me. And she made this for me for another project. I wish I could, but you know what? She's got an injury. The other person, one of the people I was going to invite in, she's got an injury. She couldn't type. She could only be here watching, which I thought could be great, but whatever. I'll have to decide what I'm doing with this. And if the dog comes and lays out here, you might decide. I think I showed it pretty good. She didn't do exactly what I gave her. That's one thing I'm a little bit annoyed about, especially aside from the fact she didn't think Beam Me Up was ready, and I was thinking about that on the other day. But I gave her a template, and just as you know, don't worry about what you missed. You can catch it later. But welcome to the person who's here. I gave, and yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'll catch it later. Maybe, you never know. And hey, but somebody's here still. So, anywho, and she didn't exactly follow it. And I agree perhaps that it didn't look, maybe like parts of this, it didn't look well thought out. It was just a quick thing. I felt she was going to bring life into it, but keep it pretty similar to what I'd showed her. And I don't know if I would feel that she did it, but I do thank her for her efforts. Now I'm trying to decide whether I need to keep the thing or not. It's quite big. It's been in our attic for a while. Yeah. So let me just sit for a moment here. Here's one of the bowls. I wanted to do this earlier. That's not a good mallet to do it with, though. And I know we don't have a shortage. And I can do this with hand, and I have that other thing. I don't know how to respond to this bowl. And if the loud tinging barely goes to the second volume, I'm not even sure if it's hearable. So just a moment. But some people did for a while. So and my voice seems to be moving the thing along the bottom. So I tried to eat a little bit before I did this. But I have a very small amount of something else I wouldn't mind eating, but maybe I'll do like I think they sometimes do in television and just pretend to eat it because for some reason, 4 strong winds that blow on the 7 seas that run high, all these things that don't change, come what may. Anyway, for some reason, it's more peppery than it was the other day, and I may have discovered what it was within this. So, again, whether it's somebody who sees this afterwards, and it's actually happened a few times, and I mean, yeah, I'm attentive and this and that, but it feels like it's happening, like there's not super long gaps, and it's happening kind of as I'm mentioning, however I'm saying it, and it's kind of time is it anyway? Okay, 11 to 12, I think. So we still got some time, and it's happening. Well, not at the moment, but so I don't know. I mean, let me just think. I could have dinged it, but I just want to sit for a moment and decide if I want to, what I want to do. These might be considered vignettes, to be honest, like not necessarily, although the first two, I think, kind of. But like I'm looking at this bag I brought down with that sign and thinking, I had a couple ideas. It's almost like that Whose Line game, and that's come to mind a couple times. We haven't watched it super recently, but not super long ago, pulling from the hat. And so I'm going to make this kind of a, hopefully you won't mind, and there's only one person here at the moment. I'm going to make this a bit of a choose your own adventure from this point. Would you like to see a little vignette about friends, but then you left? So maybe I'm thinking, maybe not that one. I didn't say much, but I don't have a lot of ideas around it, so it's not like I'm worried about forgetting them. You know, if I put that off for just a moment here, I'm just rolling with this. I mean, I'll have time to rest, you know, and as days unfold, you know, new ideas will come for the next ones. But I'm just rolling with this at the moment. I'll be right with you. So would you like me to kind of just address what's in this random bag? Pretend you left, whatever. Maybe I did say that I'd like to involve the dog in it. And he's used to me talking to myself or talking to, you know, angels. And then if people aren't quite getting the concept of this, they might think, oh, he's just talking to the dog. I don't know. But he did settle down, so I'm so confused. This is a very thought-provoking question that I sort of want to read out on the back of this book that I grabbed ages ago from who knows where, and I'm not really a book reader. And I'm curious your thoughts to any of this. But it says, what do you do when making the person you love happy also means breaking your own heart? What does that make you think? I think, again, it's better when it's win for alls and nobody's heart is broken. Would you like to say something to that? The person who's, you know, the only person at the moment, not trying to, not forcing you or anything. I guess not. Okay, well, I've looked at one thing, two thing, green thing, blue thing. And if there's any of these, I'm not opposed to, if there's any of these that, and nobody's watching this right now, if there's any of these scenes that you'd like to see done in an alternative way, if you have ideas, put them below. I'll try to make them come to life. Or if you want, just let me do it. I can do that too. Oh, and there's the $5 on the ground. With August mostly being good. This should be vacuumed, but I'm just going to think about what I want to do next. If I want to do another scene or not. I mean, there has seemed to be some activity. No reactions of any sort, but some have stayed for a while. And I'm just all about telling my stories based on my life, and, impacting and sharing my talents. So it's feeling really good. And yeah, sure, maybe I don't have the audience I just, as much audience as I deserve, but maybe they'll see this afterwards, whatever it is, then we'll enjoy watching it. Don't know if I should show the next part though, because he's kind of okay with deep, but I feel like I'm in the deep end a lot of times. And I've been thinking about that lately. It's like, whether it's feeling somebody else's pain, and I don't actually experience it a lot, partly because, I am living kind of as a hermit, for lack of a better word, in some ways, but chapstick. But I'm surprised my foot's not sore, to be honest. But I don't think I want to continue sitting here, whatever I do. So it's, where do I want to do the next scene? And honestly, I don't know if any option is necessarily better than the other. There was a scene in the one last night, part one, not necessarily having to go in order, where but it's a new environment for me and for our viewers who might have been bored of the other ones. Although they weren't usually saying, but one did say, he was wrong on two things he was saying, but you know what? It was still nice interaction until the device jumped. What I could do is not mention the people that might tune in next, as on the top, but ask what I want to ask and then wait. And then if somebody sees me waiting for an answer, and they're like, what's he going to do with my suggestion? I'm curious, then they'll find out. It's my quiet again, my bladder, but I know sometimes I can kind of ignore it or kind of, yeah. This scene I haven't thought out a whole lot. And anybody that's watching this up till now or who skipped to this point, regardless of how much you relate to it, I just want to bring back attention to the description. This is not meant as a mockery. Feel the feels, and that's okay, no matter who you are. But then hopefully try and bring yourself back to an uplifting, positive place if you don't just naturally find yourself there. There's somebody who's here to hear that. I don't know really what to expect from this scene. And I don't want to make this too much longer. So I think I've done all the scenes that I had pre-thought after I do this one. So my question is, should I do the last scene of this, Choose Your Adventure, on a couch? It was going to sound like Dr. Seuss. You missed it. You laughed. And I don't know if that tells me no, or if that says you stop at couch, do it at couch. Remember a theater thing I did to do good in coach. It was a class, and that line was there. Put me in coach, I'm ready to play today. Put me in coach, I'm ready to play. Said a few. Heard that song recently, actually. backwards at some point, but there was a song. I hadn't been up very long. I don't know why it came up for me, but there was a song that reminded me of my childhood theater days. I lost my dad when I was young, but I personally do remember, while he was still alive, him watching the audience and smiling and being very proud. And where's my phone? If I'm just thinking, but maybe I should do that over there. Maybe I should move locations before I start. And also, this location and podcast I've done with somebody who was on my mind earlier. Yeah. And then I'm thinking of somebody else who, lo and behold, happened to know the person who put that on. And I have like a authentic it could have been, before my time, but 1960s to 1980s, and it's on that shelf somewhere, I'm sure of it, but it's okay. Songbook and script from either New York or Toronto. And I did this song, and she knew the person. And I did briefly reconnect with her, but she wasn't one that preferred to socialize that way online, I guess. I don't know. I definitely don't want to sit here anymore because that chair is kind of making me sore. I don't really want to climb up to the attic and put this away, but this is big and I don't want the dog to get worked on. He does keep making noise and then he kind of stops, so I don't know. I have a bit of pelvis discomfort, but I think my dog's also telling me. So, but you know what? I've been in this location most of the time. I was doing something the other day I almost think I want to recreate. Come to think of it. Last night in the first one I did, I was fairly seamlessly. I had a chair. One chair I was using as a tripod on my own crew with this at this point in time. And maybe I shouldn't be giving away my secrets, and I would put it there. No, how did I do it? I'd put it there to film me sitting in another location. And then I would put it on top of the microwave to film me in the other room. I'm not sure. Should I do this scene in the living room? We're facing a living room or facing a kitchen? I do plan to eat, but most people either eat in a dining room or a living room. I mean, unless they have a island or whatever or something in their kitchen, when they're eating at home. I'm thinking what would be better for my body too. What my body agrees. I'm gonna go get the dog because he is being noisy. I'm sort of thinking the couch. And where is that heat thing? I know I had it down here today. I seem to remember I had it over here. I'm sort of thinking the couch. So please bear with me. You are soon to see the last scene in this episode. I don't know. Okay, whatever. Coming. Oh, it's already past a couple hours almost, I'm just going to put this over this stuff that kind of came off at that time. For now, the rest is just dog hair. Okay. Though, I'm just thinking, even though this was a new scene, like I have a few times lately even done it from that chair. Why don't I use the blue chair? How about that? That's kind of a new environment. It's kind of just like the other day, there was something, I can't remember what it was. And it was like, oh, I was going to start the day eating the same thing I finished the day with. Piece of cinnamon apple. Sure. But maybe I'll start with the same location I finish in with this. So let me move to that location, give you that visual, I don't usually sit here, so the dog may wonder, but whatever. Let him wonder. I don't know if I should have that one thing though, because it was so damn peppery. And I did almost do a scene with there. I talked about, oh, you know, I'm so there. And I was gonna do it, but I didn't. I was gonna do after the hospital visitation scene and the coma scene, and then I was gonna do the home scene on the way, which I kind of did. And that's interesting how that kind of relates to something a goal I've been trying to do, where essentially I'm doing what I did in the video, and hopefully I will get to do it in person because that'll feel different. This is a lighter hat anyway. But I was going to come home and say I had no idea how much I needed to do that scene. And it was healing for me, and it was deep, but it didn't, maybe because of all the healing I've been doing and the acceptance, even though sometimes it's so surreal and I don't feel like she's passed away, maybe those things made it easier. Maybe the fact that I'm doing it as a project and knew that I wanted to keep the flow happening, but so I'll be right back. Somebody was briefly there. I don't know if that's as good for my, okay, well, I have the heat thing. Okay. And like I said, maybe just pretending for now. Much as I want to, and this is almost falling out of the fridge. Either that or put a bit, it's doughy, but you could put a bit of. Yeah, maybe she meant to like Loki from us. Hello and welcome. Be right with you. But yeah, did I say that when I thought it seemed like all was good, I'm going to sleep? But no, I was thinking a variety of things. I was really surprised actually. I don't know if I need a thing if I let him down though, and I'm almost finished. So part of me thinks, and he has settled down, but I also really want to include him. But I don't need to be too specific about it necessarily. Suddenly my pelvis feels fine. Moving. Certain thoughts. It's interesting how things affect the body. Food, movement, ways of thinking. It's very interesting. I'll be right with you. I'm just setting the scene, and maybe I will actually eat it because I've made it where it shouldn't seem so peppery, even though I didn't add pepper in it the other day. Would you like to hear a bit about this scene before I do it, or just do it? And would you like a dog to be included? I'll let you decide. Whether this ever happens like this in reality or not, it is what it is. Yeah, come on in. Come on in. And sometimes I worry if I live it this way, then I'm not getting to actually live it actually. But I'm sure that's not always the case. Get all I might need so that I don't have to get up. Okay. Welcome, everybody. So, I don't know where our viewers are from. I'm curious, and that is something I thought to ask actually last night when I was thinking about this video a little bit. So, where are you from? What time of day is it? Well, I mean, if you're in the UK, I might have an idea. Oh, the other thing I want to quickly get. Maybe I'll end it that way. Because life's always about maybes. Where is my cell phone? Right here. Where's my thing for the day? For now, here it is. Okay, thanks for your patience. Hopefully you're still there. So, theater, improvised, and yeah. Imagine the people that you don't see. Maybe some version of this, you will see them. What's so weird? I usually sit over there, and I've been, I don't know when I might travel next, but I've been, and after I, worked on my project for a while, I might feel like, okay, that was good enough, or I might feel like, no, I still feel like I need to take this trip. I guess I'll only know when the time comes. He says, yeah, man. I mean, that's the thing about life is you one moment at a time, and making decisions out of love and stuff. Can I share something with you, man? Sure. I need a napkin. I'm just gonna. I'll use a Kleenex, even though I know I have a napkin. All right. I'm sorry. This is really lovely. I appreciate it. I don't remember taking it away. And I don't notice the pepper now, but I feel like it needs a bit of salt. So you have to use the one over here, man. That one's lid popped off, and you're gonna get way more salt than you want. So, anyway, so nice to have you over here for breakfast. 10 o'clock. Not meant to mock. It's something that stuck out to me and my spouse, and I just think it's very special, and always cherish it. Whether he sees this or anybody sees this, cherish it. Feel the feels, like I say, but tomorrow's never promised. Yeah, man. So anyway, imagine the back and forth dialogue. It's just me. Maybe in the future there'll be a cast, but yeah, man. So she worked, late nights, right? And so she during the day she would hang out with her sister or occasionally other family members, friends, sometimes just online, obviously sleep. And then it was like going to party, it was like, going to play the music, make him dance, make him sing. She always wanted people to have a good time and enjoy life. And I think she'd always want us to remember that. For sure, man. Yeah, I was definitely with her and around her for many of those good times, and there's some of my favorite memories too. He says, so she'd come home late. She'd come home early. Have you done? I just listened to this earlier before doing this, last night, and now. Out there running just to be on the run. Sam Jam, Clark, Lee, etc. Sorry if my mouth's been up at all. Man, what I'd give to let her wake me up. The things that sometimes bug us in life, and sometimes we realize it, sometimes we don't. But the things that sometimes bug us in life, we don't know in the moment. And so we do the best we can. And it can make sense, and sometimes it doesn't. But it says are really small things. All small things. Most of the time that seem big. And he says, what I would give to be woken up in the wee hours to come down and eat with her because she was too busy at work or she wasn't hungry and she felt like she needed the energy and or levels or whatever it was. And she didn't want to, probably realized, man, that she was the type of soul that just Like, maybe you relate, that just wants to be there for people. Um, has some abandonment issues, or whatever you want to call it. Didn't want to be alone, and even though she could be quiet, it's like, and sometimes she did. Sometimes she let me sleep, and I realized that she needed those times to herself. Um, you know, this is not coming from me. I know it sounds like it, but I don't think I was doing his voice right anyway. She needed those times for herself. But um, and her job was not that stressful. Every now and then, drunks would do things or whatever, but or try to. It was only a couple of years, but man, the stories she sometimes had reminded me of friends that have worked in call centers and the stories they've had. And life is a story, isn't it? It sure is. I was thinking about this song earlier, and I almost forgot I wanted to include it. Life is a road I want to keep going. Life is a river I want to keep flowing. Mm-hmm. Jenny, now and both of them, now and forever. Wonderful journey. Well, I don't feel like I've officially, and this may be the best opportunity I get, given my condolences. And yes, it's very hard, and we try to remember that in life. We got to, because today's not promised. So thanks for opening up, man, and I know we both really miss her. Yeah, I miss a lot of people. A lot of loved ones have, a lot of people have passed away. My God, me too. Maybe channel, but maybe I should save that in case. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll see it on here. That's the only way I can think of. Or maybe she'll transpire it that we will have a chance meeting, and you know, she says, "Let me see what I can do about it." Now, I'm not trying to toot my own bugle, but the soul of my loved one, Ray specifically, is here. I'm saying, I'm glad you got to kind of live some of these experiences that maybe you needed to go through. Good job, buddy. Because they're probably going to finish up soon, and I should probably go. I think so. And like the other day, I just feel so good afterwards. I feel this sense of calm. And I managed to get a meal in while I did it. It's interesting that last night with the whole thing that went on in this house, and a call that we made, she kept reminding us it's late. You think you said you hadn't had dinner yet? Eat. We kind of managed to. Hunger wasn't what was keep. Yeah. Let me just look up something really quick here. Looks like it's actually nicer out today than they said it was going to be. But unfortunately, I don't have any plans, and I don't know if I can make any. Jumping over benches and hurdles, climbing trees, advertisement from the first video that watched the show. Lululemon, dudes hanging out, climbing walls. Welcome. I'm just looking up the lyrics to something. I don't know if I should bring the dog down and sing it with the dog in my lap, because I've been meaning to bring the dog downstairs. I just want to see how much I actually do want to sing this song, and if it makes sense to sing it. And this is not necessarily part of the show as much as it's just a cover that I thought I might put in, and it looks like I might. I just don't know about that lyric. Some of it really resonates to kind of perhaps her and her loved one, and me and mine. Even though whether it gets comments or not, this would probably be healing to sing this, especially with the memory I showed earlier, and then I kind of veered from it. I don't really want to put on that wig, even though yeah, because it's not quite the right color, and but it might draw your attention, and I know where it is. But I'm bringing the dog down. I was going to sing to him. I don't really, but it's interesting. I actually did have an idea. I knew someone who did some clowning, who passed away, and was also kind of performed with him. Anyway, Peter Paul right Camp. And I was thinking, I don't necessarily know if I want to have it on my nose. It's big red. I feel like Rudolph or whatever. And also, it's may not be all that kind of, may not stay on all that easy. But I thought I could put it on my finger, shoulders, whatever. Have it here, like it's a little version of him looking at me, like an angel on my shoulder. And I thought I could maybe do that, like a little clown puppet. I don't know, and I might do stuff with puppets too. But I don't know if that's where the wig should come in. I just think the dog, yeah, dogs don't judge in that, but I don't usually wear it. But I have one, and I'm wondering if I should use it. But I know there's mixed feelings with it, so I don't think I will. So what I think I'm going to do to wrap this up, you are tuning in near the latter part, but you're welcome to come back and see the rest of it once it's posted. But what I think I'm going to do is sing a song. If you have any song requests or topic ideas, although I might do it later today if you're able to, and I think I'm going to sing it to our dog. And I mean that, like I say, it's not quite the right color. I don't have to pretend to be her. I could just sing the song. Sometimes, you know, it's about acting and personas or whatever. But ultimately, what's best is when we can just be ourselves and let ourselves be free and shine. And this is, I mean, you could say I do that in all the videos, but I especially feel like last night and today, doing these two, I feel it. I feel it. It could be a visual, but I mean, is it what I want to have? But you know what? One that I will never get sick of. In the hard times and the good. I don't really remember seeing him around last night when the things were happening, but I was trying to heat up food and get back on track. We were so focused. I don't know where he was. He was in the house, but I don't know where he was. But sometimes in tough times, we look at him because although he has a good memory, he remembers that thing that we had to get rid of because he got damaged it downstairs. And when he was downstairs a few days later, he was like barking at the area. Or anyway, basically, he's got some good memory, and he is smart, but he does some silly things sometimes too. And basically, but honestly, we should take lessons from him, perhaps, in the sense of when things are hard, look at him. He's breathing. Focus on the breathing. He's smiling. get this back to a smiling situation, and I want to share him. And you know what? Since we've gotten him, I've thought about working with him in hospitals, seniors' homes, and then I think about, oh, I don't like those environments. Oh, the germs, whatever it is. And but the power during or after to be able to, go into these places, whether it's for a loved one or a stranger, I don't, and it's not that long ago I thought of the idea, and actually this shirt connects kind of to that point in time. Um, but it's like, I don't know. I'd want this to be under 2 hours. I'm not going to sing the full song. I am going to get the dog, and I'm not going to be. So I'll be right back, and then, but yeah, I don't. Hopefully, you know where I was going with that because I've forgotten at the moment. Groceries come in about half an hour, I think. Or they're already here. But I want to have you, if I can, on the screen for a few moments here. Now that clock is back, and I think we said 11 to 12, so it should not be here yet. Okay. I don't know if I should say the name because I don't want to be too personal. I mean, about certain things. I don't know, but I don't know what to write about. Hey, look at it. Yeah, hey. Where did the piano? Cell phone. I thought I had it on the arm there. Just a moment. Hey, I'm gonna sing a song for you and our viewers. Okay, good boy. Maybe far away, or maybe real nearby. He may be pouring his coffee. She may be straightening, or they may be straightening his tie. Maybe in a house all hidden by a hill. I don't think I can tell very much, but these last two videos, she's sitting playing piano. They're sitting playing piano. Then we have to still pay the bills. So feel free to donate if you like this. Ticket cost, whatever you want. Bet you they're young. Bet you they're smart. Bet you they collect things like ashtrays and art. See the Linda video if you want. But maybe. He's any good boy. Oh, that was my stomach. I don't feel like I fully got the joys of cuddling him from that because I was doing the other stuff, but I'm glad he made his debut. I'm going to wrap this up, aside from with that, with this, since it's even thrown correctly. Maybe a popular shirt, but, and it's one I almost didn't end up with. Actually, I think there was two I wanted, and it was at a vendor thing They also had a location very near to our place, but they didn't have that shirt then. But I guess that's maybe, did they have this one? And that's because I don't think I got any shirt then. I thought, no, I did. I bought this one. There was another one. I can't remember what it was. And I was hoping to get that. She said, we're going to be doing this one. It's actually close to where you live, just a little bit before Christmas, I think. I can't remember the details, but I do kind of remember using this kind of as like gift wrap for one of the gifts for our household. And I got this one. So, yeah. Anywho, I wish there had been some comments, but some people did tune in. So maybe I, impacted them in ways I don't know. And hopefully positively, hopefully healing. Like I say, that's the goal for myself and for others. And I was kind of sniffing around over there. Sunny, be good. I'm going to wrap this up, I think. Sunny! Sorry. But yeah. And who knows? Maybe I'll do another one later today. It is only 10:20. I feel like I'm in a time warp or something. It doesn't feel like time. But I mean, I know sometimes people's videos are quite long, but I try and keep mine to 2 hours, and I usually do. In fact, this one's going to be about that, and that's pretty rare. But basically, yeah, it's kind of like, it's not as late as I thought it was. But I just used up, I guess, 2 hours, yeah, to kind of a day where I don't have a whole lot else going on. So I don't think there's really anything else I need to do. And I can't guarantee that the dog's not going to be distracting. And I'm pretty tired. When you're doing something that you are passionate about and that you love, and it's fueling you along the way, I mean, sure, it's also good if you can make a living at it and it feeds you, or at least as long as you're managing. But it does. It feels very good. It's kind of energizing, and even if it's deep, you sometimes sort of forget. It kind of lightens it a little bit. It feels like, and then you kind of just So anyway, I feel not bad, but I know I should be tired, and I kind of am. So I'm going to wrap this up and say, hopefully you've made it this far in the playback, whether it took one try at it or more. And I hear 19, a noisy seagull almost sounded like, but outside. And yeah, that's all for now.